When you're really stressed in your life, how do you cope? Do you eat more, sleep more, feel depressed, or withdraw? Well, Betsey Garland helps people to heal and transform their lives, particularly when dealing with a crisis or loss. And Betsey Garland is here with me right now. Hi, Betsey.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for having me.
I'd like for us to start off with the question. It's a very big question, actually, of what is the definition of grief?
Well, thanks for asking that because a lot of times people just assume that grief is death, and it's not. It's actually an unresolved emotional relationship, and it could be with a person or an event, but it's an attachment, and it's actually a loss. And we can have many losses. By the time we're 40, you think about you've lost a job, you've lost a pet, you've lost friends, you've lost significant others, you've lost hopes and dreams. And you can have stress. Just many times we say, "Oh, I'm having grief over this, exam," and so it's that, and so we seem to forget that it's not just saying, "Oh, I've had a divorce or a death in the family," but it's actually that feeling of loss, and we get stuck in that realm between sadness and depression. And we can actually be stuck in this pattern of grief, not just for 6 months or a few years, but we can actually be stuck there for 20, 30 years. And it's that stuckness of being unable to move out of it that does so much damage to people.
Is it negative self-talk? Is it that they are exhausted, they don't know what to do? Tell us a little bit about what people are feeling when they come to you.
Sure. Um, a lot of folks, well, a lot of folks want to make a referral to me right after a friend or a family member, say, has lost a spouse or lost a job or has health issues. And they're like, "Oh, Betsey, let me put you in touch with this person." And I'm like, we can make an introduction, but now is not the time. And they look really puzzled because they're like, "Well, can't you help this person?" And I said, I can, but actually what happens is I'm actually a lot of times their last resort. And let me explain to you why. Because when they're going through their change of whatever's happened in their life, they usually have that initial team of, it could be a priest, it could be a doctor, it could be an HR person. There's somebody there helping them initially. And then there's going to be their initial team of supporters, the people that bring them casseroles, right? And um, and that usually lasts for a month or maybe a few months. But then give us a year, give us a year, and everybody expects everyone to get over this, right? And then say 2 years, 3 years later, this person is really expected to have their life back together. And they're not. A lot of times they don't have their life back together because they're still stuck in the past. They want things the way it used to be. And they're not getting back up on the horse because they're stuck there. And say, 3 years have gone by, 5 years, 10 years, they're not moving forward. That's when it's time to say, "I don't feel good. I really don't feel good, and I'm ready for a change." When the individual has finally said, "I'm ready for a change. I don't feel good," that's when they call a grief counselor or a grief coach, because now they're taking the initiative. And it's sad to say, but every single person who's come to me, it's always been a few years into their suffering, at least a few years. Some people have come to me at the age of 35, and some have been in their 70s. And you can't compare loss. I mean, some of it has been 3 years old, and some of it has been literally 50-year-old pain. And and I've talked to people about old relationships, current relationships, um, health issues, job issues, children that were never born. It's truly amazing what people will open up and share with you. Um, I've been asked by folks, how can you even stand to hear the stories? This must be excruciating and painful and depressing. And all I can say to folks is no, this is the best. This is probably one of the best things I've ever done because it's not sad at all. I get to help witness and hold their hand and walk over that gap together, walk over that bridge, and help rediscover joy and peace with these folks. And I'm honored that they choose to do that with me. And that brings me, I can't even put it into words. That brings a smile to my face. We end up having a lot of laughs together while we do it. That's why I call it Joy Camp. We look forward to seeing each other. We don't do this in just one session. We do this over multiple sessions because it's like peeling back an onion or a lotus flower. You know, you do it in little bits and you let it settle, and then you come back together and you do a little bit more. And but like I said, I've had people talk to me about some things, you know, they couldn't resolve in counseling, or sometimes they've shared things with me that they've never talked to anyone else about. And I'm really honored that I've been able to share, you know, some methodology and process with them that's helped them. You know, and when you see that light in their eyes that they get it, and they go, wow, I feel lighter, and I'm not having nightmares anymore. Or say the problem was with somebody that's currently in their life, and they go, I finally found the words to say to this person, and it's healing our relationship. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful